Hello, welcome to the Open Hearts Book Club. Don't laugh, be professional.
Be professional.
Hey, get it together.
We invited you to be professional.
We invited you for your professional aura and your professional aura alone. Okay, take two, I guess, because Aaron can't hold it together. Hello, welcome to Open Hearts Book Club. I'm your co-host, Steph.
Your co-host.
And I'm your co-host, Sadhi. Hey.
And we have a very special guest today.
Hi, my name's Aaron.
He wasn't supposed to talk yet. It's okay.
Oh.
He's not allowed.
I just wandered in off the street.
Yeah.
So Aaron is here. He is in our book club that we started with our friends that we had before we started the podcast.
The OG Open Hearts Book Club.
Yeah. So we have him as our first guest today. And we've brought him here specifically for his professional aura.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've been teaching me how to read for the last year.
Yeah,
so that's
he's gotten really good at it.
You're so good. You're so good at it now. But yeah, Aaron, along with two of our other friends, are part of the OG Open Hearts Book Club. So you'll see the other two, Kelsey and AK, on this podcast.
The other two.
I mean, yeah, whatever.
The other ones.
The other ones. But Aaron is our first guest for our first non-book review episode.
Yes.
We have a really fun one today. I came up with this idea because I'm really obsessed with the Am I the Asshole type of podcasts and Smosh videos. And I thought it'd be really fun to take scenarios from books, turn them into Am I the Asshole posts, and then read them to Steph and Aaron and see what they think of them. If you're unfamiliar with the concept, Am I the Asshole is a subreddit on the website Reddit, which is just like a forum thread type of, you guys know what Reddit is, a forum thread type of website where you can go and post your opinions or thoughts or whatever it might be. And so Am I the Asshole is specifically one where people can go on and ask the audience, are they the asshole? And then describe the scenario. And then the commenters will go in there and say, yes, you are, or no, you're not, or everybody sucks here, or no assholes here. So a wide range of options to select from as we go into this. But yeah, it's mostly for real life personal events. But given that we're a book podcast, I thought it would be really fun to just do it this way.
Heck yeah.
Do we have to guess what book they're from? Do we get extra points if we guess what book they're from?
That's Aaron.
Hey,
you're reading my mind.
You can come back if you guess the book. If
you get them all right. So I have here about 6 scenarios. I have a few caveats before I get into it. So the first one is all of these are pulled from romance novels or popular booktok books. So the books themselves might not necessarily be romance specific, but they got popular on booktok because of the romantic pairing in them.
Okay.
The other thing, the scenarios that I'm doing have been adapted to fit a modern setting.
Okay.
So if it's a romantasy, I've done my very best to make it not a romantasy. I thought it would be super obvious if I was like, and then her superpower did this. Also a little sillier. Sorry about this. I will not be providing background information or clarification. I'm treating this like the character from this novel went on Reddit, posted this. And if you know what the story is, do not bring in your background information. Because part of the fun is the fact that these people are clearly biased with their own opinion. And so I want us to at least at the very beginning of each discussion, talk about it with just the information we have. Cool. And then after you guys maybe guess the character or guess the book it's from, we can then talk about, well, actually, here's what happened, or here's the background information that would maybe change my opinion if I had this detail. Cool. And then not all of these scenarios are romantic. Some of them are about romance, but some of them are about friendships or family. Some of these characters are varied in whether or not they're assholes, not necessarily because of how they treat their romantic partners, but because of how they treat the people around them. But they are from like romance novels or booktok books. Yippee. So yeah, so how we're going to do, I'm going to read the post. You can jump in anytime, start making comments, whatever. This is a free-for-all, basically.
I'm screaming.
Thank you for permission.
If you know what this is from, hold off on it.
Okay.
After our discussion ends, I will then ask if you can guess what book this is from and who's the character that's writing this post. So yeah, we'll get into it. So I have about 6 here. Yay. Some of them are short, some of them are long. So let's get into it.
Oh boy.
All right, first up. Am I the asshole for not telling my friend that the guy she's texting is a douchebag?
Yes.
Thoughts?
Probably. Usually, yes.
Usually, yes.
If you're my friend and I'm dating someone who's a douchebag, you need to tell me.
Mhm.
So make your thoughts about Lucas known right now.
Oh no. So actually,
No one talk about my husband like that.
Jim's gonna be so upset.
We can all be married to each other.
All
It's
right.
fine.
Had enough of you already.
I, 20 female, live with my best friend Lindsay. Lindsay is one of those girls that likes to party a lot and go to clubs, and she makes the worst choices in men. She's obsessed with celebrity drama and is constantly on social media looking for the newest or coolest places to try out. I usually say no to going out with her because I'm not really into that kind of stuff. A couple months ago, Lindsay dragged me to this hard to get into nightclub that I normally would never be caught dead going to, but that day I got into a fight with my mom and I felt like being rebellious. Like I said, nightclubs and partying are not my thing. We get there and immediately Lindsay starts talking to some guy at the bar named Adam, and she forces me to come join him and his friends at their table. I slip away and go do my own thing and eventually go home by myself. The next day I go to my internship and it turns out Adam is my coworker. Small world. Him and Lindsay start talking a lot and I can tell she's got a crush on him. He's completely her type, attractive, arrogant, playboy, etc. I think he's a total dick. In my first week at my internship, Adam sent in an article that I wrote without consulting me. He also kept making passes at me, and I found out through one of his friends that he's seeing someone else and she pays for all of his stuff, including VIP tables at the club. I didn't tell any of this to Lindsay because I know she would be heartbroken if she found out, and they weren't dating or anything. Lindsay and I ended up at a nightclub that is owned by Adam's sugar mama, which I don't tell Lindsay. At some point in the night, a waitress brings us shots and we take without asking too many questions. Dumb, I know. And I wander away from Lindsay. At this point, I'm pretty sure there was something other than alcohol in those shots. Adam shows up and starts being super creepy and weird. I push back and a different guy intervenes and stops things from getting worse. I go home with this other guy. I know him and we have this weird, complicated situationship, and I stay with him for a couple days. The next time I go home, Lindsay is down in the dumps. Turns out she found out Adam was already seeing someone else and she was really upset because she thought he really liked her. I didn't say anything, just consoled her, but now I feel bad about not telling her. But I didn't initially tell her to spare her feelings because I know she would have been upset just like she is now. Am I the asshole?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
No hesitation.
I just love the accidental coworkers trope of I met this guy. Turns out we worked together.
Well.
Oh my god. Well, then okay, to play devil's advocate here, just for the sake of discussion, she's basically saying OP, which means original poster. And also, as we're doing this, if you want to play along and comment what you think this is from, please do.
Yeah.
It's a fun game. But yeah, OP is basically saying that she knows Lindsay goes through this like cycle of dating really shitty guys, and she knows it would break her heart. And so I guess I'm assuming, again, we're not using what we know about the novel. If I was OP's position, obviously I would tell my friend, but I can see maybe being like, this will fizzle out, this will die out. Why break her heart now if it's not going to be a serious thing? If I can tell Adam's not the kind of guy to follow through.
Yeah, I guess like spare it, but like regardless, it seems that, well, I guess, yeah, we're saying that if things fizzle out, then like the conversation can be avoided. But if you see him being, if I were in that situation and I was seeing this guy and you guys were like, well, it's fine, she like goes through this, and then it turns out one of you found out like, oh, he's seeing someone else and he's making passes at me and you didn't tell me, I'd be upset.
Yeah, you're kind of an asshole no matter what, because if it's not that serious, then it's not that serious and you should tell her.
Right.
Or it becomes serious and you're still an asshole because you didn't tell her before it got serious.
Yeah.
So really, you lose nothing by just saying, hey.
Also, if it's like,
sucks.
I'm trying to save her the heartbreak, then why wouldn't you say something sooner rather than later before she gets more and more invested in this person? Would be.
Yeah,
also.
Best friend relationships are so weird because people will say, so-and-so is my best friend,
Yeah.
but then won't feel comfortable enough straight up saying, hey, I think this guy's a dick.
Yeah. Or it's like when you have like clear evidence of this man is seeing another person, then it's like, there's even like a reason. I could see it being like, I don't know how to bring this up, but when you figure out something like that, it's like, okay, now I have a blatant reason to bring this up of, hey, I heard this, I just want you to be aware, whatever.
Also,
But
OP is kind of a dick themselves because they're like, yeah, I thought, what is it? At this point, I'm pretty sure there was something other than just alcohol in those shots.
Yeah.
She goes home with another guy
She
for a
wanders
couple
away.
days. And her friend,
Just good luck. I don't know.
did she check on her? Like, what happened here? That blows. Especially if you know Adam's creepy and you're like, my
Yeah.
friend also took that shot. She's somewhere in this bar.
Yeah. He's probably preying on her right now.
Maybe. Goddamn.
Sorry, I know we're not there yet, but I genuinely don't know which book this is from.
Point of order for this.
You might not have read some of these books.
Yeah.
Have you changed the gender of any of the participants? In
All of the
these?
genders are the same. The
Okay.
names have been changed. The ages, for the most part, are the same.
Are the same.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
And OP is what? 20 years old?
20. Yeah.
And I can see at that age, especially like being kind of a pick-me girl, because she
Yeah.
starts off being like, I don't like to club, I don't like to go to bars,
Yeah.
but she does. I don't know, that like weird dichotomy of, well, you like to do these things so you can take the consequences of the action of these things.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Not
guess
separating that, yeah.
there is like I don't want to say a point of forgiveness because I do think this person is the asshole. But I guess it could be forgiven a little bit given the context that she's 20. So it's, you know, the conversations like that I feel like were harder when younger as well. Like when I was 20, I can't say that I wouldn't have made the same decision not to have that difficult conversation. But
Right.
the leaving your friend alone is, yeah.
It's gross.
It's not.
That's
Or
not
like-
good.
One of the comments that was on this post,
Yes! I was going to ask if you were doing this or
you
not.
have a comment.
we have a comment, but one of the comments had talked about basically one, OP is the asshole.
Yeah.
But then saying like, this person is your coworker. You could have just let your friend know. And then if she had questions if you didn't want to have the hard conversation,
Sure.
she could be like, oh, what is he like at work? What does he do at work? And then just be honest, saying like, oh, he submitted something on my behalf, even though I didn't want him to. And that's bad.
Yeah.
And she can make that judgment call if you really don't want to step in and say, don't date this guy.
yeah.
Yeah, deeply weird choice to be like, I fully work with this guy. Although, again, it seemed like OP didn't even realize that they worked together until after this had already
Yeah. Wait,
So-
it was like they went, I'm again pretending like I don't know. It's like they went to the club and then the next day they go to their internship and it turns out this guy's their coworker as well.
Okay.
It was like a pure coincidence that they met them the night before.
Yeah, that's such an easy, like, in to be like, oh, I know this guy.
Yeah.
Kind of. Or like, I work with this guy. Why would you not mention to your friend that, like, the guy you're seeing, I also work with? Deeply weird move to not acknowledge that.
But I don't know if they're seeing each other because she doesn't say, she says it's not like they were dating or anything.
Yeah.
So they were just texting, which is the prompt here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
again, it's like what does she owe her friend if they're just texting? I'm a completely agree.
Yeah.
OP's an asshole. You have to tell your friends these things.
Yeah.
Especially if he's like hitting on you.
Mhm.
It's an awkward thing to tell your friend, hey, I don't think you should date this guy. He's making passes at me at work.
Yeah.
And we have seen instances in real life too where people go, you're just being jealous or delusional or catty.
Sure. Yeah.
But if it's your best friend, like you gotta trust
Yeah.
it'll work out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have an
Yeah.
obligation? Yeah.
Yeah, this is from the book A Touch of Darkness. It's from the character Persephone's point of view.
Oh
It's
my gosh,
Persephone
it's
is in...
This is not Minthy. It's her friend Lexi, who is just a random character.
Oh, okay.
Persephone has so A Touch of Darkness is a Hades Persephone retelling where Persephone works at like a newspaper and Hades is like a nightclub owner, and it's a terrible novel. I hate it, but it's one of those books where the main character does some really shitty stuff, and then it doesn't matter because she's our main character. And so when I
Yeah.
read this, it's never like Lindsay never gets mad at her. Lindsay's never like, hey, you didn't tell me this situation happened.
That's
You left
wild.
me alone at a nightclub after we both got drugged. It just
Yeah.
it gets swept under the rug. It's fine. Weird scenario.
I think I'm also really disillusioned about the Persephone Hades love story too. I feel like it's gotten really over romanticized to the point where I'm just not interested in reading that story anymore. Side tangent from
No.
the
Let's get into it because one of my biggest problems with Persephone Hades retellings is the treatment for Minthy or Mint,
Yeah.
where they're like, I want Persephone to still be a good person, but she has to royally screw over a woman who, in like the actual mythology, was just like a mistress to like Hades doesn't get any shit
Yeah.
for either leading her on or sleeping with her or having had an affair with her.
Right.
But it's just this moment where Persephone gets to like dog on another woman, and it's a girl power moment.
Yeah.
And that happens in this book. It sucks.
I also just like obviously these are retellings and like the actual Greek mythology is pretty brutal, but it's like, yeah, it's off the basis that he kidnapped Persephone, and we are like constantly retelling this story. I'm a huge like Aphrodite Ares fan, so I would love I want more of that. And like Ares was actually like stood up a lot for
Her,
but women in general
yeah,
as well. Like there's a lot of stories of him like sort of like he I think is also the patron god of like battered women as well, which is wild. We're laughing about, are you gonna drop some lore on
So
me?
Aaron, why are you laughing about battered women?
Just the patron saint of battered women is a crazy sentence.
I know.
It's sad that that has to be a
know.
thing. Yeah, I'm pulling out my Z-way. So you think battered women are funny?
Yeah.
I was just
Why are you turning red right now?
going to say that I don't know, like the Hades and Persephone myth really does just seem like it's becoming like a repository for like weird self-insert stuff and completely departing from the actual mythology. And I'm just like, it's a copy of a copy of a copy at a certain point, and that sounds like what this book is. Again, I just learned how to read this year, so I haven't read this book.
No, to be truly honest, Aaron is such a wonderful contribution to any book club. He's so smart. His takes are brilliant. The notes that he leaves in his books are hilarious and genuinely such a smart guy. So I know we keep making fun of you for not being able to read, but I do want to let people know that there's a reason that you're on this podcast right now.
It's actually me. I don't know how to read.
I know. Okay, so this one, it's a bit of a longer one. Am I the asshole for forgetting my friend?
Forgetting your friend? Just straight up forgetting?
I forgot. So this is a memory.
Oh my god, I forgot my friend.
Like,
oh my god.
My friend. I, 18 female, dated a guy to get revenge on my friend and then fell in love with him. Now I feel like I've betrayed my closest friend.
Okay.
My friend, Suji, is the most wonderful, kind, caring, loving, supportive, incredible person on the entire planet. I could not name a single person who has a more generous heart. She's a sister to me, and I've known my whole life that no one is ever going to be good enough for her. A couple months ago, Suji went on a date with the most popular boy in our town.
Classic.
Carter.
Aaron Carter?
In order to understand how shocking this is, I need to give a bit of background. Carter is extraordinarily hot, rich, and the worst person anyone could ever date. He goes on one date with a girl, and then that's it. No second date, doesn't call her, nothing. And then she becomes a pariah of our town. I don't know why it is that about my culture, but to be rejected by Carter is to essentially disappear off the face of the earth. For some reason, the girls... First date goes so bad, I'm like, no one talk to me ever
The
again.
number of times I've had to move because I've become the social pariah because Carter won't date me.
Oh god, Carter keeps following me everywhere.
The number of times you've had to move.
Mm-hmm.
You've gone on multiple first dates with him, and each time you're like, I gotta leave.
Yep,
Gotta leave, I gotta
get
come
outta
back.
Everyone hates me now.
You're a pariah. For some reason, the girls that date him and then get rejected by him just leave town or are never seen or heard from again.
Oh!
It's scary and bizarre, and I don't know why anyone would subject themselves to that.
He's killing them.
Except Suji did.
Oh no.
Without talking to me, she agreed to go on a date with Carter, and it happened while I was out of town. When I got back, her brother told me that Suji decided to move in with their aunt on the other side of the world, and I haven't heard from her since. Her aunt lives in a super remote town with barely working Wi-Fi, so she's essentially gone forever. It's actually really f***ing scary, and I have no clue what this guy could have done to make her think that leaving town was her only option. I don't know if it's because of the shame or the rejection or blackmail. I don't know. That's when I decided to date him myself.
Oh.
I wanted to make him pay by any means necessary. By humiliating him, rejecting him myself, or through physical violence, I didn't care. I was going to do it. Suji's brother and my
Beat up
dad.
on that man. No, don't do that. That's bad. That's bad. We don't support that.
No, we don't. Suji's brother and my dad both told me this was a terrible idea and not to go through with it, but I wasn't going to let this guy screw over the sweetest, most amazing person I've ever met. The night I went out with him, he was acting super harsh and cruel to me, and I started to understand the fear and feelings of worthlessness that someone would get from being around this guy. But I stood my ground, spoke back to him, and didn't let his intimidation tactics work on me. We ended up talking all night long and even went back to his place and hooked up. I only did it to get him to trust me more. By the morning, instead of dumping me, he actually asked me out on a second date. I don't know why I, out of all the girls he's dated, made the cut, but I didn't care. I wanted my John Tucker must die moment, and I was going to get it. We kept going out, and as days became weeks, I started to see a different side of Carter. He could be really sweet, made sure I was taken care of, would text me all the time, and opened up a lot about his past. He had a really rough childhood that influenced a lot of his behavior.
Boo, boo, tomato, tomato.
And I can see why he keeps people at a distance and uses his cruelty as a way to protect himself. I found myself spending all my time with Carter and really wanting a future for the two of us. After a couple months, I realized I developed actual feelings for him. I loved him, and I could tell he loved me too. I hadn't thought about Suji in months, and it never occurred to me until I saw her brother. He showed up at my house and demanded I break up with Carter, reminding me that the whole reason I dated him was to get revenge for his sister. He basically said I had forgotten all about her and was betraying her by dating Carter for this long. Now I'm conflicted. I love Suji, and I want to make the person who hurt her pay, but that person is now the man I love, and breaking his heart would be like breaking my own. Would I really be betraying Suji if I didn't break up with Carter? Which person should I be loyal to?
So, obviously, Suji's been murdered. I do have my, well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know if there's any asshole in the situation. There's merely victims.
You don't think there's a single asshole in this?
Well, Carter, sure. Because he's probably murdering women.
I love that it's like, you're the town pariah. You would be dead, though.
Also, wow, you dated Carter, so I mean,
what'd you say? Are you still alive?
Yeah, I got out of there real fast because I was like,
well, don't you remember that he had a really hard childhood?
Yeah,
his parents got divorced. You see?
Yeah, oh yeah. He hasn't gotten over his grandma dying.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I have a twisted sense of loyalty where if someone did my friend that dirty to like the point where she felt like she needed to flee for our town, and then I genuinely start dating this person, no, like that, you're the asshole. I 100%. I don't care what Carter has gone through.
Yeah, I mean, well, especially because you don't. In the course of dating this guy, you didn't think to ask him like, "Hey, why does that happen to everybody you date?" Like, just as a point of curiosity, leave your friend out of it. It is just like, let's say that didn't happen to your best friend. You've seen it happen how many times? Like, I don't know, maybe ask like how you manage to make these people just disappear.
Right.
When you date them, you go on one date with them.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah. Also, I think it's just I know this trope of this guy treats everyone shitty but me. I hate that trope, so I'm also biased in my opinion of, you know, this person being the asshole. Just because it's like, well, you've seen him treat all of these people so awfully that they became pariahs. Why do you think that you're different? Just because you've continued to be able to date him? Like, at what point is he not going to turn on you? And then not only are you left without this person that you've fallen for, but you've also betrayed your best friend who you like love and keep calling like the kindest, best person in the world.
We talked about this with The Girl Beneath the Sea, but it's like, what about you made you different from all the other girls?
Right.
And why aren't you examining that?
And how long are you going to be different from the other girls?
Yes.
Yeah.
How long before Carter, whatever reason he rejects these people, decides he's going to reject you? And
how long until Carter's his stepmom gets a divorce from his dad and he goes through this all again and he reverts back to.
But the thing is too, again, for the sake of discussion, OP is 18 years old.
Yeah, true.
And so, like, your first serious romantic relationship, I know so many people who are willing to give up lifelong friendships because they're like, well, this is the person that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with.
Yeah.
This is my man.
I think I struggle with that, though, because even when I was that age and in high school and I was dating people, and, like, my brother married his high school sweetheart, so I knew it was a possibility, but I never was like, yeah, this is the person I'm going to be with for the rest of my life. It's like, we're so young. I'm going to meet so many people. So I think, I'm a little biased in, like, yeah, you're 18. Is this relationship really that deep? Is it worth this friendship?
I can imagine, again, 18 years old, you've never, like, really learned the world. The feeling of being picked is so heady. Where you're like, I'm the one that he likes out of every girl. I'm special.
Yeah.
And I know she doesn't talk about this, but that feeling of like, well, I want to keep this going as long as I can because my other alternative is I'm
sent
away.
Did OP mention Carter's age in this at all?
Oh, OP forgot to write that, but I know that Carter is 21.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's legal.
It's legal, I guess.
I mean, I don't know the name of the book, but I think you told me about this book a couple of
you want to
years
guess?
ago. I don't know the name of it. It's obviously a Bluebeard retelling, but
that's the type of it. Yeah.
You described the book to me once, and I forget the name of it.
This is The Wrath and the Dawn, and it's from our main character's point of view, Shazi. So The Wrath and the Dawn is a Shahrazad 1001 Tales retelling where Shazi is Shahrazad, and it's the same scenario where she is married to the Caliphate. I think his name is like Khalil or Khalid, something like that. Doesn't matter. I was like Carter, like this, we can get there. And that I don't know if you're familiar with the whole story,
Bits and pieces, but yeah.
Yeah, but essentially it's like the folktale is the caliph of this region marries a woman and then at dawn kills her the next day. Classic. And he just keeps doing that. And so the story is that her friend Shiva is one of those victims, and she decides to voluntarily sign up for it as a way to like get back at him.
So you were right. People are dead.
But I didn't want to say that.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do we realistically
step
make
around
this,
make it like, not obvious.
I'm like, if he kills them, girly report it to the police.
Yeah. Also becomes way more, yes, you're the asshole, he killed you.
Yeah. The context of like, okay, I think in the context of the Am I the Asshole post, it's like they just move away, and it's like, well, your friend just moved away and didn't tell you. That kind of sucks of your friend to just bail and not let you know.
True. Yeah.
So I do understand, like, if you're like, oh, that sucks that she felt like she had to do that, but also what the you just left. Now, if she was murdered, it's a very different set of circumstances.
And she was murdered in the story, and that's like kind of her conflict here, and it comes up only until Shiva's brother shows up and is like, hey, do you remember he killed my sister? And you find out there's like a magical Benson Boone-esque reason that he has to kill women. I didn't like it. I was again like, just make him a bad dude.
Yeah. His parents got divorced. And now he
does have parent issues.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, if I had a quarter for every time someone's parent issues made them murder a bunch of women,
you'd be a millionaire.
No, I can name a number of serial killers. That's usually the primary motivation.
Oh, good God.
I'd be rolling in it. I wouldn't be doing this podcast right now. I'd be in somewhere else.
We're gonna switch over to true crime phase of the podcast.
I can't do it. It's so twisted. Welcome to my sick, twisted mind. I have to ask you this though: is it better if okay? This is gonna sound bad. If Shazi, we're gonna use her real name. If Shazi stays with Carter, we're gonna use Carter. Is it better that her friend is alive or dead?
Alive?
Yeah. Wait. Rephrase the question.
Well, because it's like,
is it better if
what
a
I'm trying to
woman
say,
has
like,
died?
does it make her less of an asshole?
Yeah, because if her friend is alive, if her friend
or
is still alive, she's like, okay, I'm dating the guy that screwed you over, and you were still alive, and I'm actively making that choice. Whereas if he's dead, if she's dead,
it's worse if she's dead.
Well, she's dead. It's like, well, she's already dead. He killed her.
It's not like she just died. Like
I sat here. I looked you in the eye, and I said, my sense of loyalty is so twisted that someone did you dirty to the point that you needed to flee the country. I'd be out for blood. If he killed you, I'd be killing him.
I just, in my heart, I'm like,
killed her. It's fine. She's
dead.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is, like,
she would want this from me. Actually, she would want me to be happy.
Because then, how would you ever be friends with your friend again? You couldn't. You'd have to call. Like, you'd have to be like, we're done with our friendship.
Well, your friend already fled the country and is.
But she's alive somewhere. What if she comes back?
Well, I would be mad. Well, truly, I would be mad at her for just bailing and not being like, "Hey, quick text. Hey, I'm fleeing the country."
They don't have Wi-Fi.
She had Wi-Fi before she fled the country.
Oh, that's true.
Like, she didn't just get teleported there by Carter.
That's true. Leave a little letter.
Yeah, you could just say like,
"Bye,
hey,
homie.
I'm really sad. This guy like rejected me. I gotta go." I would be really mad if either of you just left.
I have really bad news for you.
Okay. Am I the asshole for being on a show for the wrong reasons?
Okay. Yes.
Hold on, you gotta hear OP out.
I know.
I, 32 female, was just on a reality dating show where I was the final girl picked. The show is very similar to The Bachelor, where a bunch of women are vying for the attention of one guy. We'll call him Matt, 25. And every week, people are eliminated until there is only one woman left. At the end, the guy proposes to the girl, and they live happily ever after. Except on my season, I was portrayed in a really negative light, and a lot of people were upset that I was the girl chosen. Honestly, I don't give a fuck about what people on the internet think of me. I know what I said, and if the producers wanted to give me a bad edit, whatever, I still won in the end. Damn. Matt and I...
You wrote
this. I'm trying to be realistic about this. Damn. Matt and I ended our engagement a couple of months after... Guys, come on! We're playing into the bit here.
Yeah, bring your
I've never heard this before.
Professional aura.
I can't believe you just found this on the internet. That's crazy.
Oh my God, who's this about?
Like a book
These
we've
are
read.
collected from the internet. Matt and I ended our engagement a couple of months after the show aired due to differences in values and lifestyles.
Okay.
Most people were okay with this because they hated that I was with Matt. Matt is this super charming all-American dude bro that people treat like a puppy dog. It seemed like the whole world wanted us to break up anyway, so hey, they got what they wanted. However, it got out that during my run of the show, I was actually seeing someone else, one of the producers, in fact. We'll call him Hunter 30. Now, the hate campaign that died out was had revived itself tenfold, with everyone, their mother, and their fucking dog attacking me for ruining Matt's life and taking away the chance from another girl. The thing is, Hunter and I weren't technically seeing each other. We had hooked up by coincidence before the show even started, and I did my best to maintain professional boundaries throughout the filming process. Even though there was some tension between Hunter and I was always prioritizing my relationship with Matt. It wasn't until after our engagement that Matt and I realized we weren't right for each other. Hunter didn't approach me again until a couple of months after Matt and I broke up. We never talked during our engagement, but we're both really happy together, happy in a way that I've never felt before. Is it really that wrong to date someone I met before I even joined the show? It's not like I joined knowing Hunter would be on the show and was actually going for him. I still dated and was engaged to Matt, and my reasons for going on the show were to find love, which in a weird way I did. I don't think I'm the asshole here, but please let me know if I'm wrong.
I have qualms with how this was portrayed.
This is how the OP wrote. This is how they wrote their post.
True. Yeah, it is from her lens. That's fair. That's fair.
I tried my best to think about how each character would write their version of events.
In the beginning,
did she say?
In the beginning, did she say? Did she say that she went on for love?
In the beginning of the post,
yes.
No. She didn't explain what her reasons were. She just said she won the show.
An intriguing omission.
But at the end, she says she went on the show for love.
Okay. I really struggle with this because I know this book and I know this character, but I unfortunately, based off of that post, cannot say she's the asshole.
Yeah, I mean, based on the post, it is just like, yeah, oops, it seems like you gave your relationship with Matt the good
Fair
old college
shot.
tries.
Yeah.
Turns out weren't compatible. Yeah, that's fine. No, I would say no assholes here. That is what it is. But
we know the producers and their edits.
Yeah, too. I would imagine if I was a fan, it seems as though she got a really bad edit, right? Maybe potentially like a villain edit.
Yeah,
she was a bad guy in the show. Maybe I can see myself because I do get riled up on reality shows. It works on me where I'm like, oh, he shouldn't be with her, and that's bad. And then to find out later that one, they broke up, and then two, that she's dating a producer.
Yeah, shady.
I can imagine being like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I
question whether or not she was honest in her intentions. Like, just based on this post, I feel like I can kind of speculate that there's some missing details here.
Yeah, there is like a certain air about it that is like, yeah, I don't give a fuck what people think about me, blah blah blah. Like, there is a maintained innocence that doesn't feel perhaps
I'm
authentic.
My brain is being poisoned by knowing exactly what book this is and what character.
That's why I tried to do a pretty good mix of books that I knew you guys hadn't read, just to keep it clean.
Yeah.
And this one is very biased, I'll admit that.
I know who you are.
I know what you've done.
Well, do you want to come out and say it then?
It's the villain edit. by
I picked that book.
I don't remember the author's name.
I forgot to write the author's name too.
And she wasn't there for the right reasons.
She was not there for the right reasons. Also, she, I would say, there was a point in there that was not true, I feel like. Or there was like can you read through maybe like the second half towards the end?
The thing is, Hunter and I weren't technically seeing each other. I did my best to maintain professional boundaries with the filming process.
That one. She did not do her best to maintain professional boundaries.
So this is from the book, The Villain Edit. For all of the novels that I'm using in this episode, I'll put them in the description box so you can go and read them if this sounded really tantalizing. And it's from the point of view of our main character, Jack.
Jack.
The premise of The Villain Edit is a writer, like a sort of a failed writer, wants to go on a reality TV show to like revive her career. It's similar to The Bachelor. She goes on it. She's got this whole idea in her head that she's going to be the main character.
She's going to be like the cool, chill girl.
And before she starts the show, she hooked up with a producer and he's on the show. She didn't know that going into it. And partway through, she realizes that she's kind of getting the villain at
which is truly not that much of a stretch on the part of the producers because she's so mean to everybody on the show.
She thinks she's like, above everyone else, and it's like a point in the book that gets called out. That
I really liked this book. It was very divisive amongst our book club. I loved it.
You did like it.
But I will say, having watched Vanderpump Rules, I feel like if the producers hated Ariana, she could have easily have been Jack.
Oh, well, that's what happened to Sheena Shea. That has been confirmed at this point. Is that
well, Sheena Shea sucks, but I guess that's true. That's hey, you got me there. But in my head, I imagine Ariana because she's got that sort of like cool girl, like I'm chill energy, which I think is what Jack wanted to do.
Yeah,
but they just didn't like her, and they
so
they made it. Yeah. But Ariana could have easily have been given like a really bad edit.
Yeah, no, I think it's different on a like competition reality show like that, right? Because you are walking into that a reality show like Vanderpump Rules. I think we can get
all
into
bets are off.
Yeah,
like it is just following people around in their day to day. They're not coming into an environment
find love.
And they're not coming into an environment where they are like part of a closed cast of characters. Like you are whenever you go into Bachelor Manor or whatever they call it. I think it's Bachelor Manor, but
I don't know.
You are like you're in a vacuum, so you are showing up and like acting a specific way with people. So it's like if you are coming in and just choosing to be mean to people that you're trapped in a room in one house with for like a month.
Wild decision.
Crazy choice.
Wild decision.
Do you want to talk more about the unprofessionalism that you were upset with in this?
Yeah, she doesn't try to maintain boundaries. Like she sought out Henry a lot and liked when he gave her, like she liked when he gave her attention and was upset when other people are like, oh yeah, he like this is how he produces, is he like acts like he's like kind of like your best friend, a little flirty, gets you to like lower your walls down, whatever. He's done this with other people. It's to the point where they bring in like a previous contestant. She was the previous like bachelorette.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the bachelor's his actual name.
His actual name is Marcus.
Marcus, yeah. So Marcus was a contestant on this previous bachelorette season, and then he got his own season. They bring back that bachelorette for an episode. And it's right away, it was like, oh yeah, everyone, like, they had, like, a little, like, not a relationship with each other, but it was, like, everyone could tell that, like, Henry absolutely adored her and whatever. And there were several instances where, like, they were, like, they hooked up while Jack was on the show, while she was still in the running for Marcus's heart.
Right.
And she, I don't know. I think this book really leans into the, like, the producers are depriving us of sleep and I'm not getting along with anyone. And they're like, you know, capitalizing on the fact that I'm in a bad mood and like, we're so insulated. We're not allowed to have phones or books or whatever and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, you're just a shitty person. Sorry.
Yeah.
All around. And to your point, I don't think that they really needed to push her that hard to have the villain at it. It kind of felt like that's who she was.
Yeah, they really didn't dive into, like, if you're gonna dive into the whole, like, producer manipulation of stuff that goes on those shows, like, you can, but it doesn't, it's a pretty psychologically distressing thing that's not really as much fun for a romance like this.
Yeah.
Like, it is just straight up psychological torture. It is the Stanford prison experiment while you're dating at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, and that, I think, the book, like, lampshades that a lot in a way that, like, and it doesn't fully, like, actually explore that. It's like, yeah, they made us get a little too drunk, and, like, well, that doesn't explain
why I hate Henry.
Like, that doesn't explain why you're being this heinous. Like, unless they actually, went full tilt into, like, yeah, this is psychological torture, then maybe that would make more sense. But they just don't want to, I don't know, confront that very uncomfortable
because then it makes him
it.
also a villain, which I think he still is.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, this one is, they haven't done anything yet. They're asking, would they be the asshole if they do this? Would I be the asshole for dating someone else over my best friend? My best friend, 18 male, Mason, and I, 18 female, have known each other our whole lives. We were raised together. Wherever he went, I went. And I've loved him my whole life. He's extraordinarily handsome. He can't walk into a room without turning heads.
He can't walk.
He can't walk. It's part of why I love him. He's strong and charming, and almost every woman that meets him has wanted to be with him. I'm the exact opposite. I've had a hard time making friends, and I'm average in looks at best. I always assumed that my feelings weren't reciprocated and that Mason only saw me as a friend, so I did my best to hide my crush and try to just remain friends. Almost a year ago, I was selected as part of a scholarship program. It would take me to the capital city, and I'd be amongst other people with similar skill sets to me. Even though it meant being away from Mason, I didn't have much of a choice. Our country is short on talent, and it's mandatory for those who meet the criteria to serve their country. I met a lot of incredible people, and I built a lovely life for myself. Even though I was terrified of being away from Mason, I learned that I would be fine without him. I guess it was the opposite for Mason. Our time apart made him realize he had feelings for me. We started dating a couple of weeks after I visited our hometown, and then Mason got a job near me so we could stay together and I could still be with my new friends and life. Pretty soon after returning to school, the principal's son, Nick, 20 male, asked me out in front of Mason. I obviously turned him down, but because of a project we had together, Nick and I were required to spend a lot of time together. Mason would join us to chaperone, but he was always in a bad mood about it. He hated being around my friends, thought the people I hung out with were stuck up and looked down on him, thought I was developing an ego, and that this was all going to my head. He especially had a problem with me working with Nick, since Nick would make overtly flirtatious comments and passes at me. I always turned him down, but it didn't seem to matter to Mason. He was upset regardless. It soon felt like we spent the majority of our time together just fighting about my life in the city. It got to a point where Mason asked me, point blank, to just leave the whole program and go back to our small town life together. I was honestly so shocked he would even ask that. For the first time in my life, I finally made a place for myself, and I was the one people paid attention to, and he was letting his insecurity ruin it. Eventually, he broke up with me, and I was devastated. Mason said if I couldn't put our relationship above my ambitions, then he wouldn't be with someone like me. But because he took up a job near me, we were forced to still be near each other, and I would often see him in town. Meanwhile, Nick and I were able to get closer without Mason glaring down at us, and I got to know him better. He's a genuinely good guy, albeit arrogant, and I've been enjoying our friendship, especially while I felt so lonely without Mason. When it's just Nick and I, he's earnest, passionate about his work, and we connect on so many topics and issues. Topics that Mason was just never interested in at all. Tonight, I couldn't stand being away from Mason and resolved to go try to patch things up between us. I went to a bar that I know him and his friends like in the hopes of getting back together. But when I got there, I immediately saw Mason kissing another girl, a girl he knows doesn't like me and actively bullies me whenever she has a chance. We broke up 2 weeks ago, and I'm in shock with how fast he can get over me. Even if this is just him trying to move on, the fact that he's making moves on someone he knows I can't stand is truly heartbreaking. When I got back, Nick could tell something was off. I didn't want to explain the situation, but he still comforted me regardless. Now I'm conflicted about what I want. On one hand, Mason is the love of my life. But on the other, Nick has truly been such a comfort to me and has been deeply kind. Nick and I have so much in common, and I think we would be a better couple because of our shared values. While I don't have a lot of strong feelings for Nick, I do see myself falling for him if I can just let go of Mason. I know Mason would feel betrayed if I accepted Nick's proposal, but at this point, I don't know if I owe anything to Mason at all. So, would I be the asshole if I dated Nick?
No.
Not at all.
No.
Not remotely.
No. Literally not at all.
Not even a little bit.
Like, it seemed like the situations flipped and Mason could not cope. So, I don't...
Yeah, he was the biggest fish in their small pond. They moved to a larger pond, and she became the bigger fish than him, and it drove him crazy.
Yeah.
A classic tale.
I also just, like, I don't know, the worrying about betrayal, like, oh, I'll feel like a betrayal if I start dating Nick. He kind of betrayed you first by kissing a girl that actively, like, does not
crazy
like you.
But it's one of those things
you.
where if you're dating somebody and the whole time you keep being like, oh, so-and-so person isn't a problem, you're being crazy if you think it's a problem.
Yeah.
And then you start dating that person immediately after you break up with your partner.
Yeah.
It's kind of shitty.
Yeah.
That's kind of shitty.
1000%.
Mm-hmm.
Although, I guess, like, not part of the am I the asshole, but it's like, if you don't have strong feelings for Nick, you don't need to date him either.
Yeah.
It's not an either or situation. Yeah. You can also just not date anybody.
That's true.
That is allowed. But I mean, I would say no. Like, it is that, like, self-fulfilling prophecy thing with well, I'm gonna say the guy's name from the book. Probably. What was the name of the post?
No, I'm not telling you. Guess.
I've never read this, so this might be a crazy...
Who do you think it is?
It's the Hunger Games.
No, it's
is
not.
It not?
No, it's not the Hunger Games.
I also thought it was the Hunger Games.
Yeah, I thought it was
not
Gale
the
and
Hunger
Katniss.
Games.
Well, I'm gonna call him Gale anyway.
It's very funny that, like, that does apply to so much, but no, it's not the Hunger Games.
Yeah, the scholarship thing. I'm like,
yeah, the capital.
It is one of those where I'm like, how do I turn a fantasy novel into?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. I saw you look over at each other right when I said that. I was like, that's the best I could do.
I've never read The Hunger Games, by the way, either. But I was
that's
like,
why I was like, okay, we're on the same page because I know you've never read it.
Yeah,
it's first of all so good. I do recommend it.
Okay,
if you want to do a reread together, read it along.
Cool.
I would be down.
Yeah.
I know Claire said she would want to do that as well.
They're great.
Bonding.
They're actually so good. They hold up.
Yeah.
The Divergent series does not hold up.
Okay.
Aw, leave Veronica Roth alone.
But
she
no,
didn't even talk to us at high school.
She came up to me. She saw my Writers Week piece, told me that I was fantastic. I should be a writer one day, and then signed my copy of Divergent.
That's so nice. She was really nice.
Yeah, Veronica Roth, great.
Cool lady.
And I love the Divergent novels. Her subsequent novels,
okay.
But that being said, this is not the Hunger Games. I'm wondering if anyone out there can tell me what this book is.
Tell us. Call us right now.
Call in at the number. 69420.
That is my phone number.
Fuck, what was the point I was doing?
Sorry. Basically, like, is it bad then to, like, because she made a whole thing about how she's not going to date this guy. She rejects him every time.
It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy at a certain point where, like, if you are in a relationship with somebody and, like, your paranoia about somebody that they're spending time with through work becomes such a fixation of yours that you are regularly fighting about it, when there is genuinely nothing to worry about. Like, this is someone that she spends time with in a professional capacity.
Mm-hmm.
You are being paranoid.
Yeah.
That is what caused your relationship to end. Once her relationship is over, does it make you feel shitty if she's with that person?
Yeah.
Sure, but, like, also, you need to trust your partner when they've given you no reason to not trust them.
Also, the psychology of it, too, of, like, if this guy had been cool with her just being friends with him, she would have seen all of these wonderful traits about Nick and not have internalized that in a romantic sense. She might have just been like, he's a really nice guy to be around. He's a good friend.
Yeah.
But because it was always pitted as a romantic option, either, like, he's going to try to go for you and you're seeing all these wonderful things about him. Now that she's not with, Mason?
Yeah.
She can now see those good qualities about Nick, and now she's putting them in the romantic sense.
Yeah, he put that in her head.
Yeah.
He continually contextualized their relationship as, like,
romantic.
Inherently romantic or eventually romantic. And it's like, well, I wasn't going to look at it like that. But
yeah.
But now you said it.
And now
you think we'd be cute together? I don't know.
I am curious, though, because he does say, he's like, I think your friends are stuck up and I think you're developing an ego. And while I oftentimes, and I think this is a thing we see in culture of, like, if a woman is starting to become more confident and more content and more successful, it's becoming a problem in somebody's relationship. Yeah. And, like, I don't want to discredit that there might be a grain of truth to it. Maybe her friends do suck and maybe she is becoming, like, a but
yeah, I do think that
because he broke up with her. It's not that she got fed up with him being jealous. It's he was like, well, if you can't prioritize us, over your ambitions, whatever the that means.
Yeah. I also just like I'm just trying to think of how to phrase this. Sorry. Again, it was just sort of like, it seemed like you only wanted her when she didn't have anything else going for her. Mm-hmm. And now that she has some level of success, some other like people to lean into, you don't like that. And that's become a source of insecurity for you, rather than like, you should, in a healthy relationship, be happy that like your partner has other people in their life. I am biased. I do recognize that, yeah, there could be a grain of truth to that of like, yeah, you developed an ego.
But how do you not? Like you're finally, like, I know it's we see it as a bad thing to develop an ego, but if she was somebody who was so, like, she describes herself as like being unattractive and had no friends,
maybe she needs
let her have a bit of an ego then about it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, like you see this in real life like a lot, where, you know, the woman in a relationship with an insecure man like glows up, and suddenly the element of control is now gone because he does not have more social capital than her anymore. So like, I don't know, really hard to sympathize. Like, I get where his feelings would be hurt. Really hard to sympathize with the everything else going on here.
I'm thinking of a book, and if it's this book, I'm gonna be so upset about everything that I just said.
What?
About like signing with this woman.
What do you think the book is?
AITA?
No.
Okay.
It's not. It's not AITA.
It was gonna be like Feyre with going off with Rhysand and like his whole Bat Boy crew, and it being Tamlin who's like
the one trying to hold her back. No,
yeah.
No, it's not AITA.
Okay. Did enter my mind.
I was like,
she would never set us up like that.
Yes, you would.
Our good friend would not make us look fools on the internet.
With any other book, I might, but my own bias is unable to hold back. Like with AITA, I hate that book so much, and fuck you, Sarah J. Maas, you Zionist piece of shit.
Yeah.
That I clearly would be like, well, actually, I've set this up so that clearly one of these people is the bad guy.
Okay, cool.
It's not AITA. Okay. Our top comment for this one,
Yay!
We do have one. It's funny enough, it's everybody sucks here.
Ooh.
So the person says, your country sucks, your friends suck, your school sucks. Anyone is allowed to date whoever they want. You're allowed to date whoever you want. Sounds like all you two did when you were together was fight, so it's probably for the best that you don't date each other.
Yeah, fair enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems as though this person really latched onto the whole your friends are bad and you have an ego type of thing of like, well, clearly he didn't.
This is like, we're taking this as truth.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess it's like, we don't have the context of it, but I think I would have appreciated the context of like, how did he treat her when he was the center of attention kind of thing? Because I think that's the thing that I'm most hung up on is he has previously been in this position, and it's seemingly from how the post was written, he didn't pay maybe a whole lot of attention to her up until the point
she left and like
she left,
got her own life without him. Yeah,
exactly. And I think that's where I get a little caught up of like, okay, well, like now it's not all about you, and it feels like you are frustrated because of that more so than her doing something maybe wrong.
I would agree with this comment if it wasn't for the fact that he kissed a girl that he knows she doesn't like.
Yeah.
And if he was just like, I
bullied her.
And after people, if he was like, hey, I see that we're on different paths, our relationship together isn't for me anymore, I'm leaving, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking, but I don't think he did the wrong thing.
I think it's also the point of him being like, you're not prioritizing a relationship over your like ambitions. I don't like that so much either, because she should be allowed to prioritize both things.
Yeah. I can imagine if you're somebody, because it does say, I think somewhere in there, where he moved to be closer to her. He got a job closer. So he's like, I'm doing this for our relationship. And like, what are you doing for us?
Yeah.
She didn't ask you to do that.
No, I guess not. Yeah, we don't know.
I don't know.
Final thoughts, Aaron?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm still gonna, I think maybe everyone sucks here, but mostly he sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. See this play out like kind of a lot in real life. It's a pretty classic, this guy's insecure and needs to
you can see who it is.
I can't read that far.
Nice.
I can't read.
Hey,
I'm
and so he said
learning.
he's still learning. But this is actually from the series, specifically the novel Siege and Storm from the book Shadow and Bone. Alina Starkov is our original poster, but in it she has kind of a love triangle with her childhood friend Mal and the prince of the country, because it's a fantasy novel. So she's like the chosen one. She goes to the capital, she's doing her thing, and then the prince of that country, there's always a capital. Political reasons, wants to marry her. Not necessarily because he likes her or loves her.
Okay.
But it's just like, if we get married, it's a good front to show that both of us who represent our various factions are on the same side.
Sure.
And so he keeps propositioning her that way. It upsets her, at that time, boyfriend. And yeah, she's like around other powerful people. Okay. She is like, in his point of view, like power is getting to her head. You're becoming increasingly consumed by the idea of getting more and more power. And I just think that like the simple life for you is better. But I think the book ends in a way that he's the right one in it. Where like, it's one of those novels where, spoiler alerts for Shadow and Bone, she like loses all of her powers. She like sacrifices her abilities to save the world. And then she lives a quiet life in the countryside with him. And she's happier than ever. And I go, all right, the hell? This sucks.
That's like not what I want out of my fantasy book, right?
No.
I'm like, I'm already doing the like, I'm living my quiet life. So like, make it exciting.
The natural conclusion of so many of these books being like trad wifery is incredible. It's like, you've created such a fantastical, I mean, this came up in the book that we just read for book club, where it's like, you created such a fantastical like world and environment, and instead of doing anything interesting with that, what if trad wife?
What if I was on a farm?
What if I stayed at home?
Yeah.
What if I was homestead?
It's really disappointing. And yeah, it's one of those things where like the entire time while Mal is there, Nikolai is his name. I love him. He's one of my favorite characters. But he's one of those characters who, if he was supposed to be an animal, he'd be a fox. Like, he likes to rile people up and poke the bear, and so Mal gets mischievous. So like, she never has a chance to get to know him until Mal leaves. Yeah. And then she sees a better side of him, and she never like entertains the idea of actually being with him.
That's wild.
But she does entertain the idea of a political marriage after Mal breaks up with her.
I guess like in having that context, it would be like, if you know she's in a relationship, even if it is still a political marriage, it's kind of shitty to keep being like, we should do this, even though you have a boyfriend.
He does keep making passes at her.
Yeah,
in the post too.
That's not good.
He does like drop it here and there, but he makes like jokes about it to piss off Mal.
Yeah.
Okay, we're on to our fifth penultimate story here.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for calling my best friend self-centered? I, 17 female, was raised in a very strict Asian household. Some of the rules that my parents put on me and my brother are: no leaving the house after 6 p.m., no boyfriends or girlfriends, no grades lower than an A doesn't count, no inappropriate clothing. My one solace was my friendship with my best friend, Alexa. Alexa was raised by her older sister and had a lot more freedom than I did. She was allowed to go wherever she liked, wear whatever she wanted, and seemed to be truly loved by her sister. The plant is really into you, huh? Mm-hmm. Hey, it's still thriving. I thought I was going to die soon.
Why would you do that?
Hey, don't do that.
We
know you're a freak about.
We know that
you're a leaf lecturer.
I love peeping leaves.
She was allowed to go wherever she liked, wear whatever she wanted, and seemed to be truly loved by her sister. I'm not saying this to seem like I'm jealous. I'm just explaining some background for what's to come. Alexa won the metaphorical lottery. For some reason, she was written into the will of a billionaire and is set to inherit almost all of his wealth. She was immediately taken to his residence and now lives with his family and his handsome grandsons. At first, I was really happy for her. She grew up in poverty and it's something no one in our country should have to experience. Alexa is a good person, and I have a feeling that she's going to do great things with that money. But as the weeks went on, all she ever seemed to talk about was her love triangle between her and two of this billionaire's grandsons. Every day, I would hear on the news...
Who's this random billionaire?
About the mystery inheritor. It's Bezos.
It's Sydney Sweeney. It's Bezos. And his mystery sons.
God,
grandsons?
I forgot they've started hanging out.
It's disgusting.
Cool.
Disgusting. Bad. Every day I would have to hear on the news about the mystery inheritor and reports of attacks or attempts on her life. But when I called, she brushed that aside and talked about these boys. At first, I encouraged her because I think it's important for her to explore her love life. But after a while, I tried to warn her that all of this drama wasn't worth the money.
$1 billion? You're going to inherit a billionaire's fortune?
$1 billion for drama is fine.
And we don't even know that's just 1 billion. He's a billionaire.
Mhm.
He might have multiple billions.
I had not considered.
Hey.
Right.
She didn't seem to care about my advice.
Yeah.
Or
rightfully
me.
so. Oh.
It had been weeks
No.
of her talking about herself and never asking me a single question about how I was doing. I was starting to feel like the Asian best friend to her white girl main character moment.
Fair enough.
It got out that I was Alexa's best friend and I was being bombarded by reporters. My parents were crazy upset about this and for some reason blamed me. The entire time I was on house arrest, my phone was taken away and I couldn't talk to my boyfriend or Alexa. I was finally able to borrow my brother's phone and when he was home and called Alexa. When I did, she was upset at me for not calling her back and that's when I lost it. I told her that her new celebrity status was making my life hard, that my phone was taken away, and that she was so self-centered and barely cared about me. My life didn't revolve around her, and if she could see past her own life, maybe she'd realize other people have their own problems. Alexa was stunned and didn't seem to have anything to say to that, and that's when I started to feel bad. I know she's going through it as well, and maybe it was mean of me to say those things to her. Am I the asshole for calling her out?
I don't think she's the asshole for calling her out. I think that's fair to be like, hey, like why are you ribbing into me for not immediately calling you back? However, I do think the drama is worth $1 billion.
Yeah, you're not an asshole for calling your friend out for like snapping at you for not
treating you like a side character.
Yeah, like nothing wrong with that. I will say, if the stakes are billions of dollars and it's only been going on for weeks and this is your best friend, maybe like
ease up.
Ease up a little bit. Like you also stand to gain quite a lot from this. Let's be very real.
Yeah.
Like, just I don't know, maybe if it has gone on for like a year or months, sure. But if it's just a couple weeks of this, like
that's true.
It's chill. I do understand teenagers. For teenagers, weeks amount to like
a lifetime.
So I understand not being able to contextualize it that way. But in our very seasoned 3 decades of living, I think
don't tell everyone how old we are.
I think
I think we can say like, hey, chill.
And to both of their credits, it's like, you are so self-centered as a teenager.
Yeah.
And you're both going through something. Like, for OP, she lives in a very, a very Asian household. Very strict. And then things have gotten even more strict for her. So she's upset. She wants to vent to somebody. And when your friend calls and you're like, everything's about you. But again, for the other person who's about to inherit $1 billion, I can imagine that was me, all I would want to talk about with you two is the fact that I'm about to inherit $1 billion. Also, two hot guys are talking to me.
Fighting over me, and I'm about to inherit $1 billion.
Hey, if I ever inherit $1 billion, there will be signs, and the signs will be, I will be giving you guys some of that money.
Hey, shake on it. Hey, agreed. Yeah. Same. Yeah. But like, also though, to Opie's defense, she does. There's a line in there where she's like, every day I wake up to news reports of people like. There's like a hit on her or there's an attack on her and she doesn't talk about that. She only talks about her love triangle.
I kind of get that a little bit though. Like if something traumatic like that was happening, but I had this other exciting thing to talk about instead, I might also be more like, I don't really want to talk about this crazy thing that happened.
It's weird of OP to criticize how her best friend is reacting to attempts made on her own life. I think that's the thing that like we must contextualize. Like I get that it sucks that your parents are not letting you leave the house.
Yeah. For something that's feasibly like not in your
your
control and not your fault at all.
Yeah, like that is incredibly frustrating. People are trying to murder your best friend. Yeah. I think maybe like there's a little bit of a higher risk, higher reward situation going on here that I think as a teenager you're incapable of being empathetic to. So I'm not going to say like OP is an asshole here.
Would you say everybody sucks or nobody is the asshole?
I think nobody's the asshole. This is a really wacky situation and I don't know how anybody could reasonably handle any of it.
I mean,
there also is something to be considered about the race differences here.
Oh, totally.
Of like white protagonist or main character syndrome right here.
Yeah.
And then Asian side character whose purpose is just to vent to.
Yeah, absolutely. I do. Yeah. I don't know. I do get a little bit of assholeness from her friend. The billionaire. Yeah,
the billionaire
the soon-to-be
inheritor.
billionaire. Just like not in so much that she's not talking about her life being targeted, but in that it's like, you know, when is the last time that you've asked about your friend? But yeah, to what we have talked about, I don't think that is like a super egregious error given they are teens, because
and
it's been weeks.
It's been weeks. Like, if any of you were in that situation, I would not blame you for not being like, so how's work going?
Yeah, how are you doing?
Like,
right.
I can personally, I wouldn't, if either of you were going through that, I don't want to talk about my job.
No.
I'm pretty locked into the thing that will get you billions of dollars.
I call you and I'm like, oh my god, this work day was crazy. But anyway, what's going on?
Did someone try to kill you today?
Yeah.
Like, what's up?
Hey, can we get your security team a little bit better? Because I need you to make millions of dollars. Billions of dollars.
You got a billionaire that it wants to give you his money. Can you tell him to tighten up security a little bit?
Yeah,
can you figure this shit out, please?
You did a really good job of getting into the headspace of a teenager writing this post, because as an adult, I want to be like, so people are trying to kill her and they know that you're her best friend. They're going to try to kill you. So your parents are actually keeping you safe.
Yeah.
But the self-centered teen thing is like, and she won't even talk to me about it.
She won't even talk to me, and I can't see my boyfriend. It's like, people are going to try to murder you, girl. Like,
people are dying, Kim.
Yeah, like, maybe lock in.
And my parents are mad at me
it.
about it. It's like, no, your parents don't want you in the public eye.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, like, nobody sucks here, but everybody sucks here because everyone involved are teenagers, and apparently they suck because they've not fully completed developing empathy, and that's not their fault.
Hey, they'll get there. They'll get there.
You can only see it from your one vision. Any guesses as to what this could be?
Not a clue.
This is from the point of view of the character Max from the Inheritance Games, which is a trilogy. The Inheritance Games is a book about a young woman who, for some reason or another, gets written into the will of a billionaire.
That was my question. I was like, why did this random billionaire
That's part of the mystery of it.
Okay.
And throughout the novel, she has to solve puzzles and riddies to...
Does she know how to read?
She does know how to read.
Oh, she's got a huge advantage against Favor right now.
Yeah, she's doing a great job. But it's like this eccentric billionaire who liked to force his grandsons to do like weird puzzles and riddles.
This is just our D&D campaign, actually.
Do you know what's funny? Yes, a little bit. Yes, a little bit is our D&D campaign. Because I read this book. I really enjoyed the first novel.
Yeah.
The second one, boot shit nasty.
Boot shit.
Boot shit.
Boot shit.
Boot shit.
This
boot nasty.
This boot shitting.
There's
There's gonna be so many
shit on my boot. Seriously, I hated it so much. But that first novel I really enjoyed because it was this fun, like, why am I being... Because she has no, from her point of view, has no connection to any of these people.
Yeah.
Doesn't know why she was selected.
Yeah.
And then as part of the will, it's like she has to, I think, make it to a year or some weird shit.
You have to survive a year. That's why he's not tightening up security.
Something like that. Or like solve some sort of like mystery by the end of the year to find it. But partway through, it's like she does.
And my grandsons are gonna hit on you to distract you during all of this.
Well, they like kind of hate her, and one of them's like, this should have gone to me. It's really annoying. It should have gone to you.
If I were one of the grandsons, I would be so mad.
And one of them is like the bad boy who's like, what if we solve it together?
And we split the cash.
And I hate him. Yeah.
Well, he's smart though.
Honestly, though, if I were
you'd like this book then.
Eccentric, this is the
I'm
way
not saying
I
I
would
like
spend
him.
my
I'm
money
just
and
saying.
time as an eccentric.
Oh my
billionaire.
gosh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna pit people against you.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my grandsons fight over one.
I know I said I
woman,
would give you guys money, but actually I'm going to make you guys solve puddles.
Puddles
Puddles and riddles.
Dude.
Puddles and rizzles.
When you combine
Me, the puddler, you, the rizzler.
Hey, that gets 5 big booms for me.
But yeah, it's a fun first novel, and I do think it should get turned into a CW show. Even though I hated the second one, I think
it does.
CW picked this up.
This is the legs, yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, Riverdale.
Hey, it's got legs. It's got.
It would have been.
arms.
It's got
a whole body almost.
It's got
It's got feet.
It's got feet. It's got legs.
Hands.
We got nerve endings.
There's no head though.
No head.
No
There's
head.
not a head on
There's
this.
no head, and I break my skateboard.
But there is a moment in the novel where, because it's from the main character's point of view, or I think her name is Avery.
Okay.
And Avery is like, my friend isn't calling me back. And it's really annoying. Like, I wish she would just pick up my call. And then finally her friend calls her from like a different number. And Avery's like, why haven't you called me? And she's like, girl, I have my own problems. Like, my home life is really terrible. My boyfriend is trying to sell our text messages to like the media, and so I had to break up with him.
The media,
and like and you haven't asked a single question about me in weeks, so like not everything's about you.
Boyfriend. He's selling our text messages.
Yeah, maybe you should break up with him.
Yeah.
Maybe you should be done.
First order of business. Also, I do think that like
she should have been like, okay, so you come over with me to this billionaire place mansion, assumedly that I'm at.
I think on the second book they do that.
We can solve these puzzles together.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Our last one, our final one, this is what inspired me to do this entire episode. I feel like we're gonna have a fun time to talk about.
All right.
Okay. This has to be one that we've read because she said there were 2.
I don't think you've read this book.
Okay. I've seen you smile.
I'm not a good liar.
I feel like I know exactly what this book is going to be.
I can say with confidence you haven't read this book. Okay.
Okay, then I totally believe you.
And I believe.
We believe you. Hey, we believe in you.
Believe you.
I'm being dead serious.
And
we're also being dead serious.
So are we. I'm being very earnest right now.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole for revealing secret medical information from my sister to my sister? I, 27-year-old female, ended up telling my sister medical information about her pregnancy that she wasn't supposed to know.
You know this. Sorry.
Let me start at the beginning. Since childhood, my sister Fran, fake name, 25 years old, female, and I never really got along and didn't have much of a relationship. We love each other, of course, but we're just really different people and have never found common ground. About a year ago, I went through a traumatic situation and had a really difficult time dealing with it. I cut contact with my friends and my family and lived by myself in the same town that my sister and her husband, Rick, male, live in. Rick is a lot older than us, incredibly wealthy, and is basically mayor of our town. Anyways, my behavior got out of hand to the point that my sister, at this point openly pregnant, was really worried about me. So in an effort to fix me, they essentially locked me up in their remote vacation home with Rick's 2 best friends as chaperones. Obviously, I wasn't happy about this. However, being away from Rick, Fran, and all their friends, and being forced to reflect did me a lot of good. I became more active, made my own friends, and started really working on my anger issues, of which I have a lot. One of Rick's friends, Carl, and I ended up striking a situationship too. One day, Carl admitted to me that Rick found out through their OBGYN that Fran will most likely die sometime during childbirth, and that Fran doesn't know about this. Aaron doesn't know what we're talking about.
That's so wild.
Oh, stop.
I mean, I think I have an idea. I'm just wondering if I'm right.
You probably are.
My first instinct was to tell her, but Carl told me that Rick made everyone promise not to tell her anything because he's worried about stressing her out while pregnant.
Hate Rick.
I just didn't want to. It's the obvious answer, right?
Yes, and we'll get into it.
And save this. I guess he's researching ways to avoid her dying, but I'm not entirely sure why he would have that knowledge. Given that Rick's word is basically law, I didn't say anything to avoid making the situation worse and incurring his wrath. Yesterday, I found out that Rick and his posse voted to keep a huge secret about my life from me, and one of the people who voted in favor was my ex-friend, whom I had a pretty big falling out with during the year I was struggling mentally. Fran was somehow in the area and came up to mediate, but just like she always does, she assumed I was in the wrong. She started lecturing me about how I should trust my friends. By the way, these aren't my friends, they're her friends. And how if they did vote to hide something from me, then I should just trust that it was in my best interest. This is where I might be the asshole. In that moment, I revealed to her that she had a high likelihood of dying during childbirth, that Rick knew, and he made everyone promise not to tell her, including me and the friend she was defending. I told her that they probably voted to hide it from her like they did with me, and asked if that made them good friends, looking out for her best interest. My sister left crying, and I immediately felt horrible. All of Rick's friends are pissed at me, and Rick doesn't want me anywhere near him or my sister for this foreseeable future. I don't know. I know I shouldn't have told her that information in the way that I did, but ultimately it was wrong of all of us to hide that from her, and I do think she was right to know about her own medical information. I also don't think it's fair for her to hold me to a certain standard where she can't hold herself. So, am I the asshole?
I am coming at this, I have a bias because I know who these characters are. However, genuinely not the asshole. Like, even with that bias aside, I think the way she went about it was incorrect. Sure. But I don't think her revealing that information to her sister was the wrong move.
Yeah, no, I mean, yes, you are obligated. Like, I don't know. And I can't even hold it against, like, even if it comes out in the wrong way, something that dire.
She has a right to know.
Yeah, there's not really a wrong way to, like, you have to, it kind of jumps the shark in terms of, like, well, you're revealing this not tactfully, but it's like, that it doesn't really matter how it gets revealed. Like,
I think it's worse to keep it a secret, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
it's a weird situation because she did hide it from her sister. Mm-hmm. She didn't tell her sister. So she's also kind of in the wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, she's throwing a bunch of other people under the bus. True. But she herself also was hiding it from her sister. Yeah. But at the same time, everybody who hid it from her was doing because some dude, her sister's husband, said, don't tell it to her.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, the blame is on him.
Absolutely.
Yes.
He's got the most blood on his hands, metaphorically.
But I think if you're going to break the rules anyways, like, I'm being devil's advocate here.
No, totally.
If you're going to say, well, she should have known regardless, then you should have taken on that responsibility and told her. Yeah. Instead of in the heat of the moment saying something.
That's what I'm trying to get at, is like the way that she went about it was asshole-ish.
Yeah.
Like, she shouldn't have said it like, I'm angry, I'm going to say this in like a spiteful moment. Mm-hmm. It should have been a like, hey, I found this out, I'm telling you.
Yeah. I mean, it does, I don't know. It's just one of those very classic, like, well, this happened. You see this happen a lot on, I guess, reality television, where it's like, yeah, did you handle that
like
the
Jersey
best way?
Shore?
No. But, yes.
With the letter.
It's like, did you handle this in the best way? No. Mm-hmm. Have you now been villainized for the way you delivered that information instead of the person who was doing the wrong thing? Yeah, like, you're now getting scapegoated because you did not deliver this information perfectly, but the blame should be on someone else entirely.
Yes, 1,000%.
And this is a very classic trope that I hate.
And it's...
No, you first.
Oh, I was going to say, I was just like, this is my bias showing. However, like, I also think that it was likely she should have shared it earlier, but I kind of understand why she didn't share it earlier, considering she was isolated. And then when she wasn't isolated, it was like she was around a bunch of people who she didn't really consider a friend. It was like the friends of her sister's husband and her sister. So it's like, there's not really a moral sounding board to be like, well, is this right? Because everyone's automatically on her sister's husband's side, too.
Right. And it's one of those things of, like, weirdly, I have to, like, give kudos to OP here of, like, if she's somebody who genuinely has anger issues, who's been going through a really hard time mentally and, like, has lashed out at a lot of people, she's done a really great job of, like, holding back and not lashing out. And then for someone else, her sister, to come in and, like, poke and prod and be like, well, if your friends kept a secret from you, you should know that it's because they had your best interest. And it's like, okay,
all right,
okay, I already have a problem with these people in general. Part of my, like, growth and healing, because she does say at one point, she's like, being away from them was really helpful. Mm-hmm. And now you're telling me, actually, they are people that I should have put my trust into. I mean, we've all done it in moments where we're like, I'm gonna throw something in your face right now because you're pushing me right now. You're
pushing me.
You're poking my buttons. This is the one card. You're boot shit nasty.
You're poking my buttons.
You're poking my buttons.
Why aren't you poking at my buttons, baby?
Poking at my
I just like I get what you're saying too. It's like there's a perfect word. The perfect like, not victim, but like the perfect status of how you deliver something is more weirdly important than the fact that it got delivered.
Yeah.
Right? It's more important that this OP was nice about telling her sister the information rather than the fact that, like, she was put in a position where this is what happened.
Also, the part about, oh, like, something was revealed to her and her sister went, well, you should trust in these people and trust that, like, this was in your best interest. So, like, why is her sister then upset that she's finding out this information when it's like, well, you told me to put my trust in these people. They've been telling me to keep it a secret. That's what I've been doing up until this point, and until I reach this breaking point of I need to just say something.
If her sister truly believed that, she would go, okay,
I
well,
get why you
kept that secret. I believe that was the right course of action. But the fact that her sister went crying and people are mad at her now for it, it's like, well, then it wasn't.
So this is a double standard.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, why was it okay for that secret to be kept from me, but it's not okay for this secret to be kept from you then?
Yeah.
Because both of these instances, they're telling us that we should be keeping this secret. Keep your secrets.
Also, it's one of those where it's like, if there's this big secret that's supposed to be kept from people, why did Carl reveal it to the girl he's sleeping with who's OP? It's like, then shouldn't what's his name, Rick, be upset with Carl?
Yeah.
Carl's fine though. Carl's okay for having revealed it.
I think I think everyone is the asshole outside of OP.
I think the OP
I think technically the OP's sister isn't.
No, she's an asshole.
Well, she is an asshole, but she is also like receiving troubling information.
She is.
She should not be.
We can have some.
Her reaction to being told, "Hey, you're gonna die," is fair.
Very fair.
Is very fair.
And like, I do in the moment, like, I guess if you hear that information.
Her telling her sister though, like, oh, this troubling information that you have
douchebag
received,
behavior.
You should trust these people though. We needed to keep it a secret, and that's okay.
Because presumably her sister was part of the group of people who were like keeping a secret from her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, she's also the
you're
asshole.
Right. So she's like, it's fine to keep a secrets from other people, but not from me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The more we talk about this, the less sure I am I have any idea.
I want to see guess.
I was gonna say
because I know
what do you think? Who do you think this is, and what do you think it's from?
I don't have any fucking idea.
Yes, you do.
Come on.
No, I know.
Yes, what was your initial guess? What was your initial?
What
was your instinct? You haven't read. I'm being serious. You have not read the book itself, but you know this character.
Mm-hmm. Let that be your guiding light.
I can't do this.
No pressure.
Okay, so you were being very serious that we have not read this book.
No, yeah,
I've not read the book, but we know the characters.
You've read a book in this series.
Mm-hmm. You know.
But I'm really bad at lying and telling the truth.
AITA?
It's not that book, but yeah, it's the characters. Yeah.
Okay, well, I genuinely have no idea
We've
what
talked
happens
about
later.
this so many times.
I think I've vented about this once before.
We talked about it when we read AITA. Although I will say we talked about AITA, or like we talked about the scenario, the book club you missed as well. So you're not as like prime.
Then.
But we've talked about it outside of those 2 times too.
I've done my utmost to eject all awareness of that book from my memory.
Risa knows that Feyre will die during.
Yeah, this is from the point of view of Nesta Archeron from the book
Who's Never Wrong.
Never wrong.
I should have guessed it from that alone.
A Court of Silver Flames.
I through and through, I've read 1 book in that series, and
Nesta was right the entire time.
Nesta apologist 1,000 times over.
And I agree. Yeah, in this scenario, you find out that Feyre has a high likelihood of dying in childbirth. Childbirth, because Rhysand's who cares? But
Is it because the baby comes out as a giant bat?
Yes,
legitimate.
Yeah, it has wings, and so like it's gonna rip open her
wang
birth canal and kill her.
Well, I
hate it when that happens.
Lots of mammals give birth to not
They're
lots.
curled up. Yeah, why are the wings?
Bats give birth to live bats, and they're.
Oh, a caveat: we don't like Sarah J. Maas. We do not recommend reading any of her novels.
Well, we said fuck Sarah J. Maas earlier in this episode.
I just want to, again, because we are really technically talking about her, and so therefore we are somewhat promoting the work that she does.
Don't read it. It's not good. Hey,
don't read it.
Watch a video that we can do to sum it up.
Yeah, like, we are going to do a Patreon video about how much we hate ACOTAR.
Or if you really do want to read it, just go to the library. Don't give her money.
Don't give her money,
please.
Go to
the library. Go online and be creative about finding it.
But this was the part that really inspired me to do this series, because online, a lot of people think Nesta was in the wrong. And like, again, the way she delivered it, not great, but they were like, she was not supposed to tell Feyre that. And so therefore Nesta's a bad person. And I went, I hate these series, mostly because of the way that Nesta gets treated, where I go, oh, your internal misogyny is showing.
If I knew my sister was going to die during childbirth, I would be telling her.
And she wanted to tell her, right? Like, in the post, but also in the book, she was like, I want to tell Feyre. But Rhysand, they have this entire like moratorium on letting,
and they all hate me already, so
yeah.
No,
but now that you know that it's Feyre, Nesta, Rhysand, which I
Cassian,
yeah. Which you don't know Cassian yet.
Her boy.
He shows up in the second book. I think he's one of Rhysand's like buddies.
Yeah.
Doesn't he show up in the first book for a moment?
No.
He doesn't?
Nope.
All right.
No.
I know.
I don't know. Maybe
I
will.
tried.
And you shouldn't.
Yeah, and you shouldn't. Maybe we'll talk to somebody who has, but I tried to read the second one, and I couldn't get through it because I hate Rhysand. I think he's the worst. I think he's such a hypocrite.
Yes, that also, like, once again, everyone is so mean to Nesta because of how she treated Feyre, specifically in the first book, from my understanding, at least. But, like, she is the only one that did anything when Feyre was kidnapped. Granted, everyone was, like, charmed or whatever they call it, like
yeah, there's some
like
sort
Elaine
of, like, illusion on them.
Yeah, glamored.
Yeah,
but like is it not so cool that Nesta is so headstrong and stubborn that she is
Just
like immune
could
to
not
the
be-
glamour?
Yeah.
And because she knows what happened, she tries to go and save Feyre. She
people
goes
forget
to
that,
the
yeah.
well. She revealed, like, see, because the only book I've read all the way through is the first one. But, like, it seems like when they reunite, they start to mend their relationship with one another, which makes me go, why does everyone hate Nesta? Because, sure, she's made mistakes, but, like, has Feyre also not made
again,
mistakes?
it's the perfect victim of it all. Of
Yeah.
like, Nesta is not the perfect victim.
No.
She like went through really similar hardships, but she took it in a different path, and people are like, well, how dare you?
With the cauldron stuff.
Sorry, Aaron, you had something to say?
Well, I mean, it's
do you want to say it?
Do you
want to say the thing that you're
do you
trying
feel
to say?
comfortable saying it?
Do you feel like you're welcomed into saying the thing you want to say?
I think I'm gonna say it.
Okay.
I think I can say it.
We tried to warn you not to say it.
I'm gonna say it. It's just, well, it's the thing that, like, Feyre is the most not like other girls girl that ever existed, and so the idea that, like, their family stumbles upon hardships, right? And that's fair. And Feyre's ability is, well, she's not a strong reader, but she can hunt.
She know how to hunt
by looking at people hunt.
Yeah, she can hunt. She sure can hunt a deer.
Yeah,
and then sometimes accidentally a magical wolf, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah.
Well,
but it wasn't an accident.
Right. No, she murdered it on purpose.
Well, and they sent him there to die. So.
But
right,
what you're trying to get at, yeah.
What I'm trying to get at is that, like, Nesta then used, I guess, her talents, which are just generally being charming and hot, and use those in, like, a way that is not deemed acceptable. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's the weird, like, trap of, I don't want to
you
say
guys have heard
feminism,
me,
but, like, it's like you can use it, like, if you are not allowed to use your capacity as a woman to advantage yourself if you are using it in relation to your relationship to men, that makes you bad.
You had such a good take on ACOTAR of, like, Feyre makes Nesta feel like shit because Nesta is going about, like, well, okay, you keep saying I'm a burden, like, I'll go marry someone else. And then Feyre, like, drops it on her right before she gets taken away by Tamlin of, like, and by the way, that guy that you were, like, trying to marry, his family, like, they're abusive. They beat their wives.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that part.
If you, Feyre, are a good character and are genuinely a good person, why wouldn't you have immediately told your sister?
Also, I'm sorry.
Because she's always wanted her sister to suffer for actually, like,
not being perfect.
not even being perfect.
Though, of this very instance, right? Feyre knew that family was abusive, but did not tell it to Nesta until she was angry and left it right before she got kidnapped.
Oh my god.
Okay, Nesta's doing the
you're
thing
right.
of,
Steph.
I'm angry, I'm dropping this critical information on you, but now Nesta is the villain. And Feyre was actually right.
I can already tell that people are going to be like, well, actually, Feyre didn't tell Nesta that when she was angry. She was just warning Nesta before she left.
No, that's bullshit.
But it's still the fact that you knew this information.
You knew this the entire time. If you were not, you would not have said anything if you were not
being taken
kidnapped.
away.
It doesn't even feel like you're saying it to absolve yourself. It just feels like you're saying it to hurt her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which inadvertently you are helping her. But, like, the fact
and
that you're delivering it now is just to be hurtful.
That's also the same thing with Nesta. It's like, yeah, maybe it is in some level to be hurtful, but it's still helping Feyre.
It's still helping. And, like, I think the issue that I have with this is that there's never, like, any interest on Sarah J. Maas's part to be like, hey, maybe this is just like the relationship that these two sisters have, and it can be very complicated and like,
yeah, they're sisters.
That's great. No, it is always just on a bent of villainizing Nesta for all of it. And again, it is just because I don't want to say it's the self-insert of it all, but it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it feels like.
Yes, no, 1,000%.
I've talked about this in book club before, but I hate this trope of it's not just not like other girls, but it's almost like I'm better than that bitch.
Yeah.
And it's always like a family friend. Like Taryn Duart from The Cruel Prince is a character that you haven't read it yet, but it's similar to Nesta of like a girl who is put in a position who is using the only like means that she has, but because she's not the main character, she's actually the bad guy.
Yep.
And it really frustrates me because like you said, my sister is the reason that I think Nesta is a very sympathetic character, because the way that Nesta like lashes out and acts is very similar to how my sister acts, but I love her and I care about her and I know who she is as a person, that I can put that in the context of our sibling relationship.
Yeah.
Feyre never does that. She never goes, oh, even though my sister is kind of hard to deal with sometimes, that's who she is. And there are good moments or sweet moments.
Yeah.
And I know she has a hard time self-regulating.
Mm-hmm.
Like clearly Nesta has anger issues that are difficult for her to overcome, especially like in the situation that she's been dealing with. And there's no sympathy for that on Feyre's part. It's just she's a bad sister.
There's the other element of their whole relationship. If I'm remembering correctly, I've done my best to bury AITA. It's been about a year since we've read it.
Yeah, almost a full year.
As I've learned to read, I've read better books.
And good for you.
Marginalize my knowledge and recollection of this book significantly. But there's also the age difference of it all, where like Feyre is not sympathetic to the fact that like Nesta remembers losing everything in a way that Feyre doesn't.
Yeah.
No. Feyre was like what, like 7 or something when this all happened? Like Nesta was not significantly, but like
old enough to contextualize.
In the developmental like span that exists there, Nesta was a lot more acutely aware of like what was lost. It makes sense that she would be a lot more, I guess, embittered to it. There's no sympathy. There's no acknowledgement of that. There's no understanding that might be why she prioritizes status and reclaiming status.
It's what she understands best.
Yeah. Again, I want to do a whole a Patreon episode. You have to pay to watch it because I don't want to promote this woman any further than we have to.
True.
But there are qualms that I have with this writing where I'm like, you didn't have to make Nesta a villain. You could have made her complicated. Yeah. You could have just made it so that Feyre as a POV character had a weak understanding of Nesta's motivations. But then later down the road when they reconcile, you can say, oh, you did the X, Y, and Z because you thought you were helping the family. I did X, Y, and Z. Yeah.
I have a take on this.
No, please go.
So obviously Sarah J. Maas has fully said Rhysand is basically my husband. Yep. So Feyre is absolutely a self-insert for Sarah J. Maas. I think she didn't make Nesta a complicated character because I do think that everyone would have liked Nesta more than Feyre. And because Feyre is the self-insert character.
See, I argue it's because Sarah J. Maas is a hack writer. I know, but I mean it in the sense that, like, again, if you like her,
we're not for you. We're not for you.
Because she loves to steal from every other folktale. And so she went, well, how do I do Cinderella? Well, there are 2 mean stepsisters, and they have to be mean to her for no reason. And I'm not gonna.
But Elaine's never villainized.
Elaine, that's
no. But Elaine is incompetent. But also, Elaine doesn't get. There's no like arc for her. It's just she forever remains incompetent. But I really do think it's like I want to have an evil sister in the story to make my person feel worse because that's what happened in Cinderella. I want Feyre to not know how to read because that's what happens in Beauty and the Beast, Disney version.
Here's the thing that doesn't work about because that's obviously exactly what happened. You didn't make her her stepsister though. She encountered the exact same circumstances that Feyre did, and like the challenges that Feyre experienced in her life. Also, her sister did. It's not like she just kind of swooped in from like out of nowhere, like
yeah.
It's like
no,
you.
That's why I think she's a terrible writer.
Yeah, she fundamentally misunderstands like that circumstances can make people more sympathetic and shift the context. It's like, well, there's just an evil that hangs out and like it says all these things. Not thinking that any reader would be like, well, hang on, she experienced a lot of trauma in her life also.
The way that this book does like emotional like mental illness is bad.
Evil.
Because like it's like
Nesta, I do yoga and meditate, and
Nesta is villainized for not being able to cope with like traumatic events. Tamlin's also villainized for not being able to cope with traumatic events. And Feyre and Rhysand are lifted up because they're like, we were able to like just move past it without any like,
or in moments where they can't handle it, it's like a beautiful like, it was hard different for me, but it's difficult, and then we can work through it together. Yeah. Or any other character that their trauma comes out in difficult ways. It's like, well, you did it bad. You did a bad thing.
And
now, you articulated,
and you are the bad guy.
And now you are the bad guy.
Yeah.
It really does just boil down to, hey, I don't like how you handled this. Therefore, you are a bad person.
You're the bad person.
We really went on a tangent about how much
we hate AITA.
Yeah.
But well, so that was our last one. I know we went on a bit of a tangent about ACOTAR because we hate it.
Boy, it sucks.
It sucks. That book is bad. You shouldn't read it. I don't give a
You should read it if you're not going to pay for it, and then
yell about it with us.
About how much it sucks.
Yeah. And you know where you can talk to us? On our Discord.
On our Discord.
Take it away, Steph.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, so yeah, we can go through, we have our Discord. You can sign up for Patreon. It's the free tier. We just need your email in there to get the Discord link. We are also on TikTok. We're on Instagram. You can find our episodes on YouTube or Spotify. And I think those are all of the places that we're at.
We're about to film with Aaron an episode for our Patreon, which is part of our Lovers and Soulmates tier. But we're going to talk about the fated mates trope.
If you want to spend $5 a month, you'll have an extra video from us. And we tend to be a little bit more goofy silly in those. So it could be worth your while.
We never drink during our actual episodes. We're professionals. And so
we drank in our past 2 episodes. No, we never do that.
The bodyguard was goofy as hell.
I needed it.
But yeah, so join us for that. We're about to film it. It's going to be a fun time talking about the fated mates trope. We want to do more deep dive episodes, and eventually on our main channel, we're going to talk about the history and like the writing behind these certain tropes. But for now, it's just going to be a free form conversation about what we do and do not like about the fated mates trope.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like Steph said, you can find us on various platforms. If you like Aaron, let us know. We'll have him back on more often. If you don't like him, let us know. We'll
never have him ever again.
Stop being friends with me in real life.
We're going to move to the other side of the country.
And also let us know if you liked this episode specifically. I want to do a part 2. And if it's popular, it's going to happen more soon than not.
Also, hopefully you like the guests, because we will, as we said in the beginning of the episode, have our other book club members as guests at some point as well. Yeah. It won't always be Aaron. Hate to break your hearts, but we'll have other guests involved.
We'll miss you though.
Hey.
Maybe you'll be back. If you want Aaron back, let us know.
Like this video if you want Aaron back on the episode.
If
you don't
put me back in, they put me in the cage. I'll be in the cage until you say that you want me
Don't
back
talk
on the
about
show.
that.
We weren't supposed to know about that.
We would never put him in a cage.
Yeah, and if it was, it would be big enough to fit him, so I don't know what he's complaining about.
Right.
Anyways, thank you so much for joining. Bye!
Bye!
3, 2, 1.